Well, Davos 2023 में हम लगातार आपके लिए इंडिया वॉइसेस यहाँ लेकर आ रहे हैं who are representing India at the global stage. One of the big companies that we will not miss talking to here is TCS. जी हाँ, the IT company, the behemoth, and उनका जो revenue है सबसे ज़्यादा US market से आता है. इस वक्त मेरे साथ the head of the US markets at TCS, Amit Bajaj जुड़ रहे हैं. Amit, lovely to have you on the show. Thank you so much for your time. Well, यहाँ पर सबसे बड़ा talking point India है. I mean, we've been talking to a whole host of these companies, to a lot of these, government and heads of states. Everybody is definitely mentioning India in a way which is looking very positive. We are looking like a bright spot in this gloom and doom. But give us a sense. I mean, you look after the US operations, and the way things are in US right now, it's not such a I would say the setup is not looking as great with the inflation worries and recession looming large. कैसे देख रहे हैं? How do you see the business scenario for this year, 2023?
Thank you, Swati. From a US perspective, I'd say that it's one of the brighter spots. I mean, not as great a story as India from a growth perspective, but अगर आप बाकी major economies को देखें तो US का growth rate, employment rate, demand सब बाकी economies से काफ़ी बढ़कर है. और yes, inflation की worries हैं, but the employment or demand side is extremely strong. So there are concerns, but most of the US businesses that we talk to are cautiously optimistic. The recession की काफ़ी देर से चर्चा हो रही है, और Davos में जो व्यू इमर्ज करके आया है कि probably soft landing या recession completely avoid हो सकता है, एक सिनेरियो emerge हो रहा है.
बिल्कुल, I think that's a good sign of it, because हम देख रहे हैं Europe obviously more fragile है as opposed to US, and that's rightly so. But क्योंकि इसका effect business पर भी हो सकता है ना, as you said, everybody is cautiously optimistic. Clients क्या कह रहे हैं इस वक्त? आपको कोई fear है that you'll lose out on the business in a big way? If you do, how do you work around to make sure that you make up for it?
So पहले तो हमने अभी क्वार्टरली रिजल्ट्स अनाउंस किए, तो आपने देखा होगा कि US मार्केट परफॉर्म्ड एक्सेप्शनली वेल फॉर TCS, 15.6% year-on-year growth, and that is on back of last year where we did pretty well as well. So we see a great opportunity with customers trying to not just push growth agenda, but also preparing for a potential recession, and therefore focusing on consolidation, efficiencies, cost effectiveness. So both sides of the TCS business model, which is helping customers to grow or helping customers to save cost and become more efficient, are coming into play. और जब भी customers cost के बारे में सोचते हैं, एक बड़ी common सी strategy है कि they try to work with a fewer set of partners. Consolidation एक बहुत बड़ी approach बन जाती है, and a player like TCS emerges
to be their partner, preferred partner.
So, and that has played out in our results and in our commentary as well, and the pipeline is pretty strong. So we're quite bullish about that we'll become stronger force in US from already a big player.
That's something very interesting that you said, क्योंकि इतने tough situation में भी I think it's making you more resilient, as you said, and you are confident कि clients and you will be able to deliver growth, as you said, and there's a strategy in place, of course, you talked about, but the verticals that will actually help you deliver that growth, और कहाँ पर pain point है, कहाँ आपको लगता है growth drivers बन सकते हैं?
Yeah. So I think जैसे कि मैंने आपको बताया कि at least US clients में उनकी consumer demand is not slowing down. Yes, there is softness. अगर आप देखेंगे retail में, instead of buying very premium products, the shift happens to maybe a more economic value for money. But that doesn't mean that the demand demand goes away, right? So there might be shift in the demand from and the shopping behaviors, but and therefore the more economical providers might gain some market share. But across verticals, we're seeing good demand. Especially, yes, mortgage business, for example, because inflation, interest rates ज़्यादा हैं, तो there is a bit of softness in the housing side, which leads to mortgage business, investment banking, because the stock markets are not doing that great. So yes,
those are some of the weaker or the softer.
Yes. But the flip side of that is energy transition as a theme is extremely strong, and customers are committed to that. Okay. The resurgence of manufacturing within US is pretty strong. So
ये साल आप कैसे देख रहे हैं in terms of client addition पे focus है या retention is more of a strategy that you look at?
It's as I said, the market will present consolidation opportunities. So we are very actively participating in acquiring logos and customers where we are not present. Right. And of course, growing the portfolio that we have is central to TCS business model.
And digitization is the buzzword, and everybody is talking about it. Cloud 2.0 strategy, I think वो एक ज़रूरी एक strategy है company की. और वहाँ पर क्या update है? What is the kind of work you're doing? What is the future looking like when you talk about Cloud 2.0?
Yeah. I think when you look at cloud, a lot of initial foundation work has been done, right? So most of the customers have committed themselves, maybe overcommitted in certain ways, and made those investments into cloud, may not be fully harvesting it. Sure. So, the journey ahead of them is how do we industrialize, right? How do we get more value out of the investments we've made? And how do we scale cloud at an enterprise level? I think going from 20 to 30% of enterprise on the cloud, the benefits will come if large part of the enterprise is on the cloud, and that requires scaling. Absolutely. That requires industrialization. Again,
so that's the 2.0 strategy.
Absolutely.
So वहाँ पर क्या updates है, कितना काम हुआ है, कब तक you think the strategy will come into play in a big way?
It's already into play. Yeah. I think we announced CNS Wholesale, which is US is a top distribution company. We just announced in these results that we are taking their entire enterprise on Cloud 2.0 journey. Yeah. Similarly, with the logistics player, we announced, with the bank we announced. So there is a lot of momentum building, and I think the environment around us will only drive that momentum forward.
Pricing को लेकर क्या negotiations चल रहे हैं with the way the situation is? You think there is renegotiation on the pricing that's happening?
It's stable. I mean, the talent side of the equation is quite tight, right? I mean, even if we talk about softness, the talent side is sought after, right? So I think from that perspective, yes, while economic environment one would think that there would be customers would request for price negotiations, but everyone understands you can't. You can't get it. Quality cannot be compromised. And the talent, it's not easy to find talent for most of our customers.
Okay, and final question now. TCS के लिए US market सबसे बड़ा market है, सबसे ज़्यादा dependency है on how it will do, and that will reflect in the numbers. So the onus and the responsibility is even more to deliver. You've done quite well in the last quarter. आगे outlook के point of view से, guidance के point of view से, what is the number that we are looking at in terms of the growth?
Then my favorite line, that we don't give guidance. But all our commentary has been, and as we said, our pipeline is extremely strong.
Yes.
Our customer additions have been at record high. Our contract signings are up.
So the signals are looking
we're very bullish on the US market.
That's amazing to hear. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Lovely speaking with you. Good luck.
Same here.
Thanks.
Thank you.